A new trial date has been set for Lil Durk's murder for hire case. This trial was initially set for 5 days from now. Because of the Speedy Trial Act, obviously. But now it's delayed until October, so 10 months from now. A lot of people are mad about it, but even the defendants want this. I'm going to read the entire thing. Hit subscribe. Here we go. All right, so we got United States District Court. Stipulation regarding request for continuance of trial date and findings of excludable time periods pursuant to Speedy Trial Act. Defendant Banks and Wilson. Current trial date, January 7, 2025, which is laughable. I think we all knew this was going to get delayed. I mean, that's literally in like 4 days. And it's a federal case that I would imagine has a lot of evidence. Proposed trial date, October 14th, 2025. Defense Grant, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston. Current trial dates, January 14th. Proposed trial date, October 14th, 2025. So obviously October 14th is in 10 months. Gives them a lot more time to prepare everything. And I'm sure the defense wants this as well. It wouldn't be possible. They just arrested these guys. Plaintiff, United States of America, bind through its counsel of record, United States State Attorney, and defendant Durk Banks, both individually and bind through his counsel of record, Drew Findling, Marissa Goldberg, Jonathan Brayman, and Christy O'Connor, defendant Kayvon Lennon Grant. So it goes through everyone, all the defendants. Hereby stipulate as follows. The first superseding indictment in this case was filed on November 7th. Defendant Banks first appeared before a judicial officer of the court in which the charges in this case were pending on November 14th. Speedy Trial Act urgently required that the trial commence on or before January 23rd. Defendant Wilson first appeared before a judicial officer of the court in which the charges in this case were pending on November 15th. So it goes through the rest of the other defendants. On November 14th, for defendant Banks, the court set a trial date for January 7th. All defendants are detained pending trial. The parties estimate the trial in this matter will last approximately 14 days. All defendants are joined for trial and a severance has not been granted. Wait, 14 days is not very long. I was expecting a month or two. I guess not. It's only one murder they really have to focus on. I'm like thinking of the YSL trial, like it took fucking forever because it was so much shit. By this stipulation, the parties moved to continue the trial date for October 14th and set the following briefing schedule for all motions other than motions in limine. Motion hearing date August 11th. Motions to be filed by June 30th. Opposition to such motions filed by July 14th and reply briefs by July 28th. Defendants request a continuance based upon the following facts, which the parties believe demonstrate good cause to support their appropriate findings. So talks about what they're charged with here. Discharge of firearms and a machine gun, possession of such firearms and furtherance of a crime, violence resulting in death, commit murder for hire resulting in death, using interstate facilities, private jets, airplanes, etc. The government is in the process of producing discovery to the defense, which includes, among other things, approximately 230 gigabytes of digital evidence, such as audio video recordings and surveillance footage, and approximately 20,000 pages of reports concerning murder and other violent acts, photographs and witness statements, medical documents. Holy shit. How are they going to get this trial done in 14 days? Well, I know it's just discovery. They have to disclose everything just to be safe. I've seen mistrials happen if they just didn't send one thing, one small little thing that they have. So they have to disclose everything to defense. That's what they're doing here. But 20,000 pages? A lot of it's probably phone dumps and phone tracking bullshit. Due to the nature of the prosecution, the number of defendants, including the charge in this indictment, and the voluminous discovery that will be produced to defendants, this case is so unusual and complex that it is unreasonable to expect the adequate preparation for the pretrial proceedings or for the trial itself within the Speedy Trial Act. Pretty much what I said. It's impossible for this trial to start in January. I've seen fans upset about this, like Durk fans, like, man, what the fuck? Why are they delaying the trial to October, bro? It would be impossible to start in January. And I'm sure they have to find a slot where all the lawyers involved can do the trial. And 10 months from now, that's early. I was expecting like January 2026, honestly. That's what I was expecting. Defense counsel represent that they have very substantive obligations. What did I just say? Which necessitate the continuance of the trial to October 14th. In light of the foregoing, counsel for defense also represent that additional time is necessary to confer with defendants, conduct and complete an independent investigation of the case, conduct and complete additional legal research, including for potential pretrial motions, review the discovery and potential evidence in the case, prepare for trial in the event that a pretrial resolution does not occur. 60% of you aren't subscribed. Come on, hit the subscribe bell. Defense counsel represent that failure to grant the continuance would deny them reasonable time and account the exercise of due diligence. Pretrial resolution. Come on now. I highly doubt Durk is taking a plea deal because every plea deal they give him is probably life with parole or something. Like the chance that when he's like 60 or 70 to get, I don't know, dude. Ain't no way he's getting a plea deal for this. I'd be surprised if they offer him like 20 or 40 years. There's no way. They want him in prison for life, 100%. Defense believed that failure to grant the continuance would deny them the continuity of counsel and adequate representation. So this right here, to all the fans that are upset, even the defendants want this. It's not enough time. It's not possible. The government does not object to the continuance. The requested continuance is not based on congestion of the court's calendar, lack of diligent preparation on the part of the attorney for the government or the defense, or failure on the part of the attorney for the government to obtain available witnesses. I'm Durk, bank's attorney. I've carefully discussed every part of the stipulation, blah, 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 signing it day before Christmas. Kayvon London Grant's attorney signed it. DeAndre Dontrell Wilson's attorney signed it, which apparently DD, he is entertaining a plea deal, which I don't know how that got public. I don't think it's in this document, but I'm sure every one of the defense lawyers have gotten a plea deal offer. I'm sure every single one, honestly, just to see what they would give them, but I'm sure it's life. Like, it's probably like not a good deal. This is the feds, bro. And it probably requires them to snitch and testify. So if DD does take a plea deal, he's most likely going to snitch. But that's if he takes a plea. We don't know. Plea deals are very secretive and strategic on both sides. Counsel for defendant Banks. So this is all the trials that Durk's lawyers have to do before his. January, April, May, June, October. Right before his. They're going to be doing that one. In December after. So it's small windows. Counsel for defendant Grant. More trials. Look at all these trials. Defendant Wilson. Like, there's not a lot of windows they probably had to schedule this. Look at all these trials, bro. So this is the judge's order of detention for Durk. On November 14th, he made his first appearance. Defendant proffered documents reflecting that he's obtained a monthly lease at a property located in this district, that he has engaged a full-time bonded and insured security company, that he is a highly successful musical artist signed to LM Records, Sony Entertainment, significant assets, 2 houses, $2.3 million, which he's willing to post collateral to secure his release. Multiple third party, including Alamo Records, are willing to support his release with cash and property. His nonprofit organization, copy of the e-tickets of the multiple flights that pretty much showed that he didn't try to flee the country or anything. It was just connecting flights. The court reviewed and considered all these materials. The court finds the defendant has presented evidence sufficient to rebut presumption, but after considering the presumption, the factors set forth, and all the information and argument presented at the detention hearing, the court concludes that the defendant must be detained pending trial because the government has proven by clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions of release will reasonably assure the safety of any other person in the community. By preponderance of evidence that no condition or combination of conditions of release will reasonably assure the defendant's appearance as required. On August 18, 2022, Durk texted a co-conspirator with instructions not to book flights to California under a name involved with him. So now talking about the FBI being notified that he was fleeing. Defendant counsel offered the itinerary and receipt for one of those flights. This evidence supports the inference that defendant, who has considerable resources, attempted to leave the United States upon learning of the arrest of his co-conspirators. Wait, so they're saying the evidence of the itinerary showed that he was trying to leave. But I thought the context was the multiple flights and multiple locations was like decoy flights, and it was a big plan to leave. But they were just connecting. So the judge just didn't give a fuck. They were like, no, that shit, he was trying to leave, bro. What the hell? Defendant alleged to have orchestrated and funded a murder plot in which co-conspirators acted at defendant's direction, traveled to LA, tracked, stalked, and attempted to kill defendant's intended target by gunfire, including a fully automatic firearm, and did kill a family member of the target. It is therefore ordered that the defendant be detained until trial. So that's the official order of detention for Durk. It's going to be a long, rough year for Durk until all this is done, boys. I mean, he's going to be in jail for the next at least 10 months, and some people think the rest of his life, because this is a Fed case, boys. When the Feds come for you, they ain't playing games. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Peace out.